want to talk to you about a whole bunch of things in kind of rapid fire that all kind of go under this umbrella that I call Live Blue. And by Live Blue, I mean live like you love our planet, because you do. People for a very, very long time have expressed their love for our blue planet through art, through music, through poetry. Here's a Japanese depiction of the ocean, which I think is quite poignant given the situation in the Pacific these past days. As a kid, I fell deeply in love with the ocean. I could just sit and look at it and swim in it and think about it for as much time as I had. I decided I wanted to be a marine biologist, and my childhood heroes were Jacques Cousteau. A lot of people know who he is, and his children and his grandchildren. Evel Knievel, who was a daredevil. He used to jump his motorcycle over buses and canyons and things. Seems like a funny hero. And then Dr. J. He was a basketball player. He is a basketball player, and he kind of invented the slam dunk. So when you put Dr. J, Evel Knievel, and Jacques Cousteau together, you get that guy. This was sort of the visual part of my embarrassing story. That's me in high school while I was an exchange student in Spain. And I studied biology in college, and I studied Spanish. And those were some of the tools that I use now as a marine biologist. So here we are on this beautiful blue planet, and I decided I'm going to be a marine biologist. I'm going to follow my dreams, follow my passions. I'm not going to let anybody get in my way and become a marine biologist. And I studied sea turtles. The first sea turtle I put a transmitter on was a turtle named Adelita. And she took off the coast of Baja. This is 1996. And decided to swim across the Pacific Ocean with the transmitter on her back. Well, here's what her track looked like. Coincidentally, she swam from Baja California right to Sendai, Japan, which is very close to the epicenter of the earthquake that caused the tsunami. And this was 1996. And what we learned from this turtle, well, we learned a lot. But one of the things we learned is animals can swim across the ocean. What we also learned is that we're all connected. If we're going to take care of animals like turtles or anything else, we need to work together. We need to work among many nations, through many cultures, with a lot of different kinds of people in many different countries. Another thing I learned is that these animals swim right through what is known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. So that was my introduction to this problem. And I connected with Charlie, and I connected with oceanographers, and I started thinking about what the heck is going on out there. These animals have to swim through all this junk. I wonder if they can survive that. We know that some of them can. We know that Adelita did. But I started studying sea turtles around the world. This is a sea turtle nesting beach in El Salvador, where endangered hawksbill turtles nest. And in order to get to the sand to lay their eggs, they have to dig through layers of plastic. That's just wrong. Turtles swimming through the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, that's wrong. Turtles having to dig through plastic to get to the sand is wrong. Turtles have to climb right over plastic in order to do something they've done for 100 million years. Just go up on the beach and lay their eggs. After a couple of months, these beautiful little baby turtles just erupt out of the sand. They run down the beach, and they go into the ocean. If they're lucky, they survive. If they're unlucky, like this turtle, their first meal is microplastic, and that can kill them. So as I'm following my dream, thinking, wow, I'm going to live the life of Jacques Cousteau, I'm banging my head literally against plastic at every turn. Here's a turtle, an older turtle that ate a plastic bag. Some people say, oh, sea turtles don't eat plastic bags. That's you environmentalists exaggerating the problem again. Right? You ever hear that? When people push back and tell you, oh, come on. Well, show them this photo. That's an unhappy turtle with a black plastic bag coming out of its butt. That was a lucky turtle because the diver got to pull it out and the turtle happily swam away. The big problem is this addiction that we have to plastic and oil. And the result is massive pollution around the globe, including the Gulf of Mexico with the recent oil spill. I spent 2 weeks in the Gulf of Mexico helping with sea turtle recovery efforts, and there's nothing more heartbreaking than pulling a young turtle out of the ocean covered with oil. Sea turtles don't handle that very well. So here I was following my dream, thinking, wow, I'm going to be a marine biologist, and then Popular Science magazine comes out with this article, and it ranks oceanographer as the second worst job in science. And the reason why it ranks so low is because there's a lot of bad news. The ocean is in big trouble, and plastic is just one part of the problem. Just to point out, I work as an oceanographer, but I've done whale feces researcher, and I've done garbologist, which means studying things in dumps. I've done hazardous materials diver work, so those are highlighted because they're part of the job when you're an oceanographer. So the problem, oil and plastic together, they go together. Our plastic stuff is made from oil and gas. The oil industry feeds the plastic industry. We move stuff all over the globe, a lot of it made out of plastic because we want the convenience of it. We make money from that. We move our plastic bottles full of water across the planet, and then we ship them empty plastic bottles back across the planet. Right? All the while fueled by diesel fuel. Sometimes those bottles are recycled, sometimes they're just incinerated and turned into energy. As a result, plastic production cumulatively has just soared. It's grown exponentially. More and more and more plastic. And since it doesn't go away, plastics are forever after all, that just accumulates. So every year, this plastic production, that builds on top of all the previous production. So over the past 100 years, you've seen this curve going up and up and up. Now our job is to turn that and figure out a way to bring it down. That is the challenge. In this lies an amazing opportunity, right? A crisis always presents an opportunity. We need to rethink our relationship with the ocean, period. We're not in a very good relationship with our beautiful ocean at all. And right now, there's research going on all around the world. We're learning, scientists are learning about the ocean in amazing new ways. It's a revolutionary time. But research isn't enough. We know more about the ocean than we ever have. We know more than we even know we know about the ocean. We need to rethink our food. And that's happening in all kinds of ways all over the world. People are rethinking what it means to eat well, to eat organic food, to eat local food, to eat sustainable seafood rather than seafood that destroys the ocean, to support local fishermen who are doing it right. We need to rethink our energy. And by that I mean really exploring all the options for alternative energy, whether it's from the sun, whether it's from wind, whether it's carefully taken from the ocean. There's a lot of energy in the ocean. There's a lot of energy in the air, and there's a lot of energy coming from the sun. We need to rethink our cars and the way we get around, whether it's public transportation or personal transportation. I tell my daughters, who are 6 and 9, their first car won't run on oil. And we need to rethink our own brains. We have amazing brains. In fact, people believe that our brains are the most powerful, complex things in the universe. So I want you to adopt a blue mind. What is a blue mind? Blue mind is that puts other people and the future of our planet first in all of its decisions. We need to rethink our plastic. That's why we're here together, specifically to rethink our plastic. To understand that we need to rethink design so that we have products that are convenient, responsible, and well-designed. Okay? And you will run the businesses that sell those things that are convenient, responsible, and well-designed. I asked my daughters, Grace and Julia, what they would design if they were in charge. And they quickly came up with this very simple idea. The origami 100% recycled wax paper cup. And that was a 10-minute design process that they sort of thought through and came up with a simple idea. But that's the idea. They didn't say, Oh, that's a bad question that I don't know. Their brains were flexible and they came up with a solution. My friend who makes skateboard components said, I'm going to try to get plastic out of the skateboarding industry. And he designed these things they're called risers, and they are made out of bamboo. Here's a design that doesn't work for me, frankly. It's plastic. They made the caps smaller, so they're eco caps. But it's still plastic bottle of water being shipped around. It's tap water. So we got eco caps in plastic tap water being shipped around, and that's not a real rethink. That's not a real redesign. All of our stuff is in plastic bottles if you go in the grocery store. And the reason why it's all in plastic bottles is because there's a lot of liquid in it. Number one ingredient in most of the things in the supermarket is water. Therefore, we need plastic to go around that water. Whether you're in the kitchen aisle, the bathroom aisle, the food aisle, the drink aisle, just walk around next time. Wow, look at all the plastic wrapped around water mixed with other stuff. Right? Your shampoo, your conditioner, your body soap, it's all mostly water. And you're paying for mostly water. And then that stuff is really heavy. And it's trucked around in diesel trucks, day and night, to be delivered to where you are. And then it arrives at the grocery store and it sits there in a refrigerator, an open-face refrigerator, so you're refrigerating the whole world. Right? And that refrigerator is connected to a power plant, spewing pollution, burning coal. Right? What kind of design is this? We're shipping water around. And guess what? The thing that's best distributed in many of the places we live is water. Now I know there are some countries and some people who live in communities here who have challenges with their water distribution. But a lot of the places where I've lived, you're never more than 10 steps away from a water supply. And we're moving water around in diesel trucks. And when I'm in the shower, the one thing I have a lot of is water. I don't need it in my bottle. I take that water out. Don't put it in plastic. Give me a bar of soap for my body. Give me a shampoo bar. I got water. I don't want to buy it from you, and I don't want it shipped around. So we need to rethink our drinks. Rethink how we make drinks. Rethink how we consume drinks. People want you to believe that's smart water. I don't know what's smart about it. Pretty dumb to me. People want you to believe that if you get that bottle of water with sugar and coloring in it, it'll make you happy. That you just open that and you're opening happiness. Right? Brilliant marketing, but untrue. Where is your happiness really come from? What really makes you happy? I know what makes me happy. Sea turtles. So we need to rethink happiness. Don't let people sell you happiness, especially when it makes you sick. Universities all over the country, all over the world, are now rethinking bottled water. They're banning it, and they're coming up with better designs, better systems. Bring your own bottle and fill it up at a hydration station. It used to be called the water fountain when I was a kid. Makes sense, right? You can add your own. I squeeze a lemon in mine. I like that. Little lemon juice in my water. I don't need to pay anybody to do that for me. The bulk food section in supermarkets is growing. Every time I go to different supermarkets, I see bigger bulk food section. Bring your own little bag, fill it up with whatever, you don't need packaging. It's amazing. That's a great trend nationally. Farmers markets, traditional markets, outdoor markets, where you bring your own bag, they're growing. You don't need to take a bag, a plastic bag, just bring your own. Put it in your pocket, get a Chico bag, or any of these other great bags. So to solve these problems, we need to look at them through new eyes. If you're making a living off of the problem, you're probably not going to solve it. Your interest is in maintaining things the way they are. We need to rethink our lives. And make it fun, as Anna says. Always make it fun. Rethink everything. Have fun doing it. And learn how to live blue. Every single decision you make. Live blue. Use your blue mind. Fall deeply in love with our blue planet.